Hello everyone, we're back with another episode of the Nursery, and we're going over our anniversary event where we were hunting Turtwig. So, as you can kind of tell from the background, we were at Lapis Lakeside this week. It was actually a little funny because I had started by going to Greengrass, but then when we figured out what the starters did, I was like, energy for everyone. We were going to spend months and months hunting a Curlia, so I said, oh, let's just go ahead and try and get Turtwig. So I transferred to Lapis, and I've just been catching as many as possible. So I'll kind of go over what kind of catches we got, if anything is worth using, and maybe, hey, if we're lucky, maybe there's one with helping bonus. You'll have to watch and find out. But anyways, let's go ahead and start today's sleep session. Let's catch some more Turtwigs, assuming they spawn. And then we'll go over our catches, swap our team, and I think the new daycare feature should be out now. It's around 11:30 my local time, so I believe it should have already started. I mean, I know it did. I did it on my main account a few minutes ago. So, Dratini, Ralts. I'm still interested in catching Ralts, just in case, because I think my friendship level is around 10 with that. I don't think that's true. And lots of Turtwigs, so hopefully, I did run a good camp ticket this week. I had gotten one from maybe the Latios or Latias event with one of the bundles. So I said, in order to catch as many things as possible, let's go ahead and use the GCT. This week, I might also end up running the yellow flower first or second. I know the sleep experience one is a little better because it's 2100 experience versus what would be like, what, 1800? And the hungry isn't guaranteed to land on what you want. But with so many Turtwig spawning, I feel like it is still pretty likely. It's probably over 50%. But then again, I probably don't have the biscuits to catch things every day. Not why not? Everything but the Turtwigs. Okay. So, I think I'm actually going to pass on... Okay, the Dratini already has one bar. I might actually go for the Dratini. Our focus today is really these Turtwigs. So let's go ahead and use our regular bonus biscuit, the 3 pips, to just go ahead and catch this one straight up. I think we're going to try and be a little conservative today because we do want the biscuits to last us through most of the week. Because I think we're just about done with our buyable biscuits also. Yeah, so we have these. I did get one of those bundles with diamonds I had, and now you can see I have none. Sleep points wise, yeah, we have gotten through all of our biscuits. So I believe we get some after cooking 12 meals, so we'll be trying to stay on top of meal cooking. But otherwise, we'll probably be biscuit broke. Yeah, you can see I got a lot of turtles this week. Okay, between these other two, I can catch at least one more. And I think I'll just stop there. Oh, we're so lucky. Okay. In honor of that, actually, I think we'll go for the Dratini, actually. Is that true? We have 2 Dratinis, actually. I will pass. Maybe not the best use, but I think for biscuit conservation purposes, we have to make these last a bit of the next 10 days. So, sorry for anyone who's disappointed in not getting those. As for sending out, I feel like people still want Dratini candy, but I'm going to do Turtwig in honor of the new week. People who have Turtwigs are going to want to raise them, and the candies have been pretty good. That's like, what, 30 candies right there? Unfortunately, I have to give 15 of the candies to Wobbuffet, but whenever Crymomatic comes around, I guess I can transfer those. Here. And we're getting just around to rank 51, so that's pretty good. Still a ways bit away from formerly 65, now 70. Okay. And I think for the purpose of the surprise, I won't review these now. I'll save them for the end with the rest of the Pokemon. But you see, we got the first one was Modest, second one was Bashful, neither of which are great natures. I think Modest is okay on Skill Specialist. It's speed down and something else up. But I think it's usable. TBD. Okay, anyways, let's go ahead and choose our next research sites. We ended around Master 2. Unfortunate because I think we missed out on a Stuffle Incense. But not the worst thing ever. And that 15% is rolling over to Lapis. So I believe we're around 240. If I calculated the numbers correctly, 240 area bonus across all of our islands. So what we'll actually end up doing also is now we've gotten 190 sleep styles, so we're able to get that halfway point between OGPP and Lapis. I'll actually go ahead and unlock that. Oh, great sleep this week. Go me, I guess. This is my second phone, so I just put it to sleep around the same time every day. So that's why my sleep's really good on this one. You can see here, 60%. I will give it 5%, so I'll be at 245. And then next week, once the event's over, I might go to Snowdrop to give it the last 15%, because now Snowdrop's not that bad of an island. And as you can see, like, I have no strength here. I think I literally just let rollover happen to it twice. But with so many decent Pokemon there now, Piplup, all the ice types, and whatnot, I think it'll be better to have this at 25 instead of dredging through 10, 15, and 20%. But that'll be for next week. So you can look forward to us going to Snowdrop the first time next week. But for this week, we're going back to Lapis. We're going to get to catch more Turtwigs. And yeah, that's really it. I wonder what berries we'll get. Wow, surprise. Durian, Mango, and Cherry Berry. Oh, but desserts. I want to say the last 2 weeks I've had curries on this account. So it's actually been pretty consistent because I have a decent curry lineup. Nice extra 150 experience. And the Munchlax Island is there. So I don't actually know who on this account I want to put in just yet. So I'll probably determine that in a moment. I was talking through it earlier about the sleep experience, and I have flowers. So if you don't know, you can plant flowers each day. They give you different benefits for the entire week. But the ones you plant later, of course, you get less benefits because you get them for less days. So I think it's universally agreed upon that the blue one is the best. Oh, and it's my first time on this account to see this screen. So we're actually going to get 2 minutes. We're going to get one now and one at the end of the week when we plant the white flower. Unfortunately, for anyone who did it last year, they will not get the second one. But that's nice, because we do have a Dragonair. That's quite good. We might end up using that. I've decided in the last, 7 minutes that we're going to actually use the blue one first. So, and then tomorrow we'll use the yellow one and go from there. Let me go ahead and collect these guys and we'll swap them off. A lot of people are saying, like, oh, Blaziken's dead in the water now that, dead on arrival, now that Infernape's out. But even on this account, I still think Combusken is going to be better than our Monferno. Not that we have one, but if we were to get one, I think it would be better. Because this guy can self-heal himself, and now, since we still don't have a healer proper, I still think Combusken will perform better, since he'll be able to perform faster per day, assuming we get the skill triggers. Okay, we'll just go ahead and make up some tea real quick. It's desserts. We're not really going to use the fiery herbs this week. Mushrooms. We can actually make more of this tea, so we'll keep that. The beans for soy donuts. Sausages we will also not use at all. So we're just going to make a big first meal. No extra tasty chance, but can't be helped. We don't have the Dene. Not that Dene is even legal on this account. Our best bet for this account is Marshtomp or Sneasel. And that's something we might actually go ahead and try and hunt while we are at... Oh, that's nice and big, actually. It's because now that our Areas bonus is quite nice, we can make decently sized meals, even if they're weak. Yeah, so when we go to Snowdrop next week, I think Sneasel will be one of our top hunts. In addition to... Who else is pretty good, even though they can't evolve? Celia? We have a good BFS Celia already. I'll have to look at the list again. Sneasel's probably number 1 for sure. Delibird's not usable. Absol's not usable. Unfortunate. There's a lot of those 16-pip Pokemon like Absol that I forget are in the game just because even on my main account, I don't go to Snowdrop that often, so I only see them like once in a blue moon. But okay, Collecting our guys. Boop, boop, boop. Okay, let's go over our catches. We'll do catches. I'll probably pause for a moment to figure out who I want to put in the daycare. And then I'll jump back in, show off the daycare feature for a second, and then we'll call it an episode. So, you might have saw before that like there was lots of Turtwigs that we caught. So, our mudkips from last week and Charmander that we did see. Let's start from here for our first Turtwig. So, ABC Turtwig, lots of candies. This guy is a skill specialist, so we're really wanting skill trigger, speed, and helping bonus. He's not particularly fast, so I don't think we really care for BFS either. And on this account, he will be a grass berry, so essentially he will share the same island as Curlia. But I believe actually running the numbers, Gardevoir is better than Torterra, but Grottle just barely beats out Curlia. So, of course, whichever one I get first, that's the one I'll go with. So not a good Turtwig. Second, ABB Turtwig, skill trigger, double trigger, quite nice. This version of double trigger is not as strong as skill trigger M plus nature, because I think the numbers are slightly different. Skill trigger S, I want to say, is 18% versus the nature is 20%, but they're similar enough. So this is our best one that we've seen so far. Let's go ahead and keep looking at the rest of them, see if we see anything better. ABC, helping speed, skill trigger, and ingredients up. Running the numbers, I'd have to see which one's better. I think if this was helping speed M, this would be better. We do have 2 sub-skill seeds, but they're in short supply, so we'll have to consider really wisely if we would want to use it on that. Ralts, nothing great. Skill trigger is way too late, so this is not even in the running for a candidate. ABC Turtwig, skill trigger M, helping speed S, and a skill nature with experience down, and we're promised skill trigger S at level 70. This one is very nice. This is our new best one now. So, moving on. Skill trigger S, berry finding, skill nature. So this one's slightly worse than the last one before. BFS is nice for strength, but we'll miss a lot of those overnight triggers, which overall is pretty good on a healer, especially if they're just barely cutting like healing required per day, which a Grotto would be, I believe. So we would really want to see those morning triggers so we don't like doom spiral towards like no energy. Mono, I would be really interested in a mono version. This one is just skill trigger S though, and helping speed M at 100. Much worse than the last one that we just saw. Oh, shiny Chikorita. Of course, we just got this one during the week. No berry finding S, no helping bonus, so nothing great. So it's cute though. Another Turt, AAC, no skill trigger until 70, no helping bonus. Not our guy. Another Ralts, AAB, I believe. Not sure, sir. Ultimately, no skill trigger, so also not our guy. Turtwig. This one is, yeah, a little bit worse. If that skill trigger M was in the 50 or 25 slot, this would be our new best one, given that it would have triple trigger. But, And also having skill level M at 70 is kind of a useless slot because I'm not going to wait until 70 to skill skid it. As soon as we get the healer that we want, we're just going to dump all the seeds that we have into it and make it our healer. Now, this one really sucks. This is berry finding S, helping bonus, Turtwig, but this is not the build we kind of want on this guy. If this was skill up, I would probably consider it, but it's not it. I would have really loved to have this on like Piplup or something, which we haven't caught any of since we were at Lapis. So I'm sorry, Turtwig. That's really unfortunate to see. AAB. This one is just overall really bad. No skill trigger, no helping speed. The nature is nice, but quite bad. This one's getting transferred for sure. ABA. Another berry finding S. Skill triggers are nice, but they're way too late, and the nature does not like complement it at all. A few more. Have we gone to the modest one yet? Naive. Okay, we're still working on our backlog. Mono. Skill trigger down. Not it. Boo. Another ABA. This one is, the skills are there. They're quite good. Honestly, if the nature were flipped, I think this would be a competitor for the other one that we saw earlier with the double trigger and speed. But given that it is skill at speed down, it's probably going to perform much worse, even with a ribbon and whatnot. Another BFS. Now this one is double trigger, so probably still not as good as the other one, but I will run the numbers on both of them and kind of choose between them. At that point, I'll probably also consider the ingredient list because potatoes we probably need less of. Mushrooms are in harder supply because even Quagsire does struggle to make like full mushrooms. And since we don't have Quagsire in this account, who's the next best mushroom farmer? Rooper? Eh. Okay. This one is a very big discount, Turtwig. Like at level 25, it's already going to have skill level 5 if we take it to Grotto. But bad nature, nothing else really good, so discount doesn't make it worth buying, right? Mono, helping speed. So this is today's, okay. So this is the minus one we caught today. Now this one is really unfortunate because this one is amazing at 100. I wish the research experience bonus was later. Even with the speed down, helping bonus I think does counteract it. I'll run the numbers, but if you have strong opinions, this is more or less what we're looking for. We just would prefer a different order and a different nature, honestly. If it's really better than, like, close to the other one, I would not be opposed to minting this one also, because the mints, they're neutralizing mints, right? They're not going to make the Pokemon great, but they make them good, especially when the nature isn't really conducive. So this is the last one we caught. Helping bonus again and skill trigger. Okay. And bashful. That skill trigger is subseedable. And actually, a good point with this is the energy recovery bonus. This will start us at 105, and this will make it so we recover more energy. Which, on this account, since we can't use like the entire Go++ tricks of like healing, swapping, doing whatever, this is actually not that bad of a skill. It could be stronger, but it's not bad. This is not as good as double trigger, but the helping bonus I think will go much further long term. And we can't substitute it. Inventory is nice when we get there for those overnight triggers, but the helping speed will be better. But I think, again, I have to run the numbers. This one's really good also. So the two that we caught today are really, really good. After this episode, I'm actually going to run the numbers. If they hit the benchmark that we need to hit, and we're happy with that, I might just go to a different island this week. I believe I do have one easy travel ticket left. So if that's the case, I might go ahead and try and hunt Prinplup or Monferno. Probably Prinplup. But, okay. Let's go ahead and we'll leave. That's our catches for the week. Lots of catches, as you can see. Really overall solid week. Those berry finding S's were a little bit unfortunate because I would have liked to see those on berry specialists. But let me go ahead and look through my box. And we're going to figure out who we're putting in the daycare. So I'll be right back. Okay, so we're back. I did some looking through the box. I also went to Rain on X and plugged in a lot of those Turtwigs. And we'll kind of go over the daycare on that. So as far as Candy Boost is concerned, I think I'm going to put this Metapod in the daycare. But first, I will Candy Boost him up a bit. We are forced to use the free kind of daycare ticket, which will give you extra experience throughout the week. I think totals around 4,200 experience. Anyways, this Metapod, we're really not going to use it until we get to Amber Canyon, which is a bit of a ways away. So I think this is a good candidate for the daycare because we can just put it in there, forget about it for the next like 4 months, honestly. So I will boost it a little bit now just so that experience is going to better use. It's not as useful at low levels. So yeah, we'll use the shards. It's still low level. And we honestly didn't have that much candy for it anyways. This is the one we caught like on day 3 or 4. And I had mentioned like, oh, honestly, I should have left it as a Caterpie because Metapod and Caterpie speed is not so different. So with the 500-hour ribbon, it would actually end up being faster as a Caterpie than it would a Metapod. But I had already evolved it, so that's what it was. I might actually just go ahead and take it to 30. Yeah, because I can't do 31. I'll just completely take it to 30, and then let the sleep experience start doing its thing. Okay. And it is mono honey, which is nice, but honestly, Metapod doesn't make that many ingredients. It also has skill level up M, which is also not so bad on it. It has a useful skill, but it'll trigger like once a day, maybe. Okay. So now, if you open your screen, it should be the bottom right, the Snap Island. You can go there. So, by the time you're seeing this video, it should be out in your region also. So this place is called Munchlax's Nap Island. It's a little island that was recently discovered. Thank you, Nursery. And he's going to take us through this tutorial where the single Munchlax lives. Poor guy. This guy's probably hungry too. And if you don't know, pretty much Pokemon will just stay here and they'll gather experience normally. I believe it's 150 a day. And only positive natures matter. Your subskills don't matter, and yeah, that's about it. Your subskills don't matter. So I'm gonna go ahead and choose a Pokemon. So I can click send Pokemon here. We'll find our Metapod. Which date register. So you can see our box from like day 1. So we'll put Metapod in there. The triangle is just like a delta. So for me, I just use that to say, I'll level this to 50. Okay. And then it's the really expensive relaxing set. We get a free one at first, but 700 diamonds is quite steep, so I don't ever see myself buying another one unless it's a part of a bundle that I was already intending on buying. Okay. So if you take it out, poor Metapod, he's just, it looks like he's fallen over. Oh, okay. It also shows you how much experience they've gained total when you click on them, so that's cool. And I believe whenever you do take them back, Munchlax can fight items. I wonder if you can take these back before, these items before you take your Pokemon back, or if they're at the same time. It also looks like you can find candy, shards, and specific Pokemon candies, and then candies. Okay, yeah, that's all there is to this. I'm glad to have this new feature. I think it'll be very helpful now that level 70's out, and as we get towards level 80, it'll just be like really nice to be able to leave someone in there and they can just raise themselves. I think on my main account, I have an experience up Cresselia, and I'm literally just going to leave them in there because I can't use them until they get to level 70 to get helping bonus, and I can finally mint their skill down. As far as mints, I looked through my box. I think my best candidate is a Dratini that I have, but I'll worry about that a little bit later. So anyways, as you can see here, I did number the Turtwigs from 1 to 7. So we'll jump over to Rayon X, and I'll kind of go over that with you on which one I think I might end up raising. I think between the 7 of these, the one I want to raise is among these. So I will still continue to catch them casually this week, but I think this week, instead of using the yellow flower, we'll use the red flower to just accumulate some more candies. Because my priority will then be to get one of these guys to 50 as soon as possible. But with that, let's transition over here. So I'm using the free account. So as you can see, so for any of these guys from 1 to 7, I went ahead and named them. I put in all their subskills, nature if they had a nature that's not neutral, and then gave them the 500 sleep hours. 2,000 would affect it, but it affects them all the same way. So I don't think it was a big difference to give them 500 or 2,000. But this is just so we can see like how their healing should be for the majority of the time that we have them, including their ingredients. Let's go ahead and turn this off. So since they're healing themselves, we don't need max energy on. So kind of just off the bat, we're looking at their skill triggers and then their energy throughout the day. So one here with double trigger in the sub skills is only healing about 4 times. I'm kind of just jumping through. These are the other 2 healers that we had caught, and we're kind of comparing it to this. And we're looking at our energies. The standouts 2 that I think are notable are number 7 here, which I forgot to name, T7, who has helping bonus and skill trigger at 50. And then number 2 that has double trigger and then speed at 50. eventually triple trigger. Everyone else is doing okay, but not really doing better than the Curlia that we had caught maybe a week or two ago. If you remember early on, we did catch this Palmy also with double trigger, but with the helping speed down, it was just falling short on the healing we needed. These two that I mentioned, like, oh, they would be better with the mints, and I wouldn't mind using a mint on them, they actually still fall behind these other two. So how do these guys scale at higher levels? Because we'll probably get them to 50 as soon as possible. We could probably do it within the next 2 or 3 months if we focus on candy boosting them. So as you can see here, so let's go ahead and take the other guys out of the running. This one not being used, right? Fair enough to say. This guy also not being used. Berry Finding S individual. And we're not using Palmo. Everyone else. Double trigger here, Berry Finding S, not being used. We like those triggers. Okay, so we're down to a row of 1. How are these guys scaling? So at 50, we have T2 doing the best versus T7. T7 being not so far behind. At level 60, yeah. So this one's still slightly worse, but it has helping bonus, so in my mind it's slightly better. Slightly less triggers due to overnight triggers, but that's because it's faster, not because it's... And yeah, and it's also making less triggers. But they're close enough. This is like what? Less than 10% difference. And although the energy curve is honestly about the same, right? So this one, in my mind, is just much better overall. And at 80, if we want to look at it, it does actually get much better at 80 when it does get those helping speed. So in my mind, this is the clear winner, number T7. Number T7? T7. So, yeah, I think that's all there is to it. I will put it on the team to let it start getting experience. I think I will even start candy boosting it because it does really want that skill trigger at 50. But I will not invest seeds until the end of the week. Is there any shot we catch something better? I don't have the Rain On tool to say. Yeah, because this one also, sorry, I did not mention this. This one also does need a sub-skill seed at 50. Right now, it's skill trigger S. But I'm more than willing to put that in, so I've already just factored it in. This one, I could put in a skill seed to try and get skill trigger M, but there is a, 50% chance it lands on the ingredients. So I don't think I want it enough to put 2 into it. For the sake of argument, if we hit it on the first try, which I don't think is likely, it would still fall short at 100. Let's see, at 50, you know, it's definitely better. 60, 70. So it's really better up to 100. That being said, I think T7's our guy. Okay, so let's jump back into Rain On. Yeah, the video is quite long. If you've made it this far, honestly, thank you for watching. But yeah, T7, our guy here. I think this is our Turtwig, so he's going on our team. I mentioned that I might switch islands. I think now that I think about it, I want to keep those candies, so I'm going to go ahead and stay on Lapis. So anyways, thank you guys for watching this long video. There was a lot to go over. I hope you guys had a good anniversary week. If you guys got anything really good, let me know in the chat below. If you're on Velociraptor's server, I have been kind of looking through like the Brag channel there and the Rate My Mon channel. And there have been a lot of like Berry Finding S, helping bonus, like Chimchars and Piplups, which I'm really jealous of because I'm looking for my own on my main account. But, you know, I'm happy for everyone who got theirs. I just wish it was mine too. So anyways, thank you for watching. Have a great day. I should be back sometime next week with the part 2 of this. If anything has changed, I'll let you know. Anyways, have a great day. Bye-bye.